Welcome back to Amazing with Jake. Thanks for watching, everyone. Subscribe to my YouTube if you are not. YouTube.com/@JakeBrownRadio. Give us a thumbs up below. We appreciate it. Comment below. How are you thinking about the New York Mets? Let's get right into it. It took me 3 minutes last time to get into it because I was busy talking about my Dixie Cup outfit. Let's talk about it. The Mets, it's going to be a long season. We talked about this going to be in around a 500 team in the 80, 85 win range. And we said what their biggest weakness was, and that was starting pitching. And that is what we saw on opening weekend when the Mets were swept out of town at Citi Field. Their starting pitching couldn't get into the sixth inning. On opening day, Jose Quintana 4 2/3. On Saturday, Luis Severino pounded for 12 hits and 6 runs through 5 innings. On Sunday, Tyler McGill, 4 innings. These guys are barely getting through the fifth. It's pathetic. They have to be better. This team has to get through the sixth inning. They had 5 off days the first 2 months of the season. There's not room for these relievers to be used at the level they're being used already through the first 3 games. It's 3 games. They're 0-3. What can you do? It's a long season. But the starting rotation has got to be better. They don't have enough reinforcements in the minor leagues to save them if they're not going to get through the sixth and they're not going to be better. They need Kodai Senga back, and of course they need JD Martinez here for an offense that scored 1 run on 1 hit. It was a Starling Marte homer. First game of the year, Marte's back healthy, a home run, great to see. They did nothing else. And then Sunday, again, 1 run, an offense that did nothing. And even Saturday, an offense that for most of the game was ugly and then had to fight back late, using a Beatty pinch hit homer, using an Alonso homer. It took them till the 8th inning to wake up. It's time to wake up. The Tigers are coming to Citi Field for 3 this week. The Mets probably only going to fit 1 or 2 of them in. They might get all 3 because they can move 1 to Thursday. Both the Mets and Tigers are off Thursday. The weather is showing some ugly weather, some rain Tuesday and Wednesday night. Monday, it looks like it will be fine. But, if they get 1 in Tuesday, Wednesday might get moved to Thursday. If Tuesday and Wednesday are rained out, they maybe do a doubleheader Thursday. But there's not a lot of off days. 3 in April, 2 in May. So the Mets rotation's got to wake up. They got to be able to go deeper into games. And it's tough. When the weather is like this and it's cold like this, it's tough. I get it. It's tough to get a grip on the ball. It's tough to knock balls out of the park sometimes. The wind was kind of howling over the weekend. I went on Friday, of course, with my dad, 21 straight home openers. My brother Robert came for the second time ever. So maybe we'll have Rob come once a decade. And I went on Saturday with a friend of mine. It was ugly. They came back Saturday, showed some fight. But the big story was the Rhys Hoskins slide we saw on opening day Friday, and then Saturday. The Mets had to retaliate in the first inning. If it meant Luis Severino gets tossed, so be it. It might have been better for them because Luis Severino was terrible. And let's give him some time, but man, that was the Severino we saw last year, which was a reason Mets fans were not happy they signed him. So Severino has got to be better than that. He's on a prove-it deal. That's an unacceptable performance. But once again, it's 1 game. It's 1 series. But you don't want this to spiral out of control here and you get swept by the Tigers and you're 0-6 on your first homestand. Mets already only had 22,000 people show up on Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. I get it. It's chilly. But, it shows you Saturday 30,000. Fans won't show up. If this team is dismal in April, even when the weather warms up, fans will not show up to see a team that is terrible. And I don't think they're going to be terrible. I think this is only 3 games. Take a deep breath. But again, the starting rotation has to be better. And this is what you worried about when Senga went down and the Mets didn't sign anyone. You're relying on guys who are career 3, 4, 5 starters to move up 1 or 2 spots. And now Sean Manaea his Mets debut on Monday. Adrian Hauser, I'll say his Mets debut Tuesday. We'll see if he'll pitch Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see with the weather. They got to show up. They got to pitch well Because this offense they're waiting for JD Martinez. And you're seeing an offense that if they did not sign JD, this would have been a disaster. He's going to provide a big jolt. Listen, I don't think he's going to save the Mets. I don't think he's going to save the team, but it'll help. You had Tyrone Taylor and cleanup. No disrespect to Tyrone Taylor, but I had flashbacks to the John Mayberry Jr. and Eric Campbell cleanup days, and we still have nightmares over those. You had flashbacks to those lineups. And Omar Narvaez playing Sunday. I like that they DH'd Alvarez at least. You get it. You got one game in a series. Alvarez sits. You want to get everyone involved. Buck did that last year. But, Mendoza had to show a pulse Saturday. And I don't think they did. They waited for Rhys Hoskins to did a 2-run single, a 2-run homer, a base hit, and then the fourth at-bat, they threw it at him. And they threw it way behind him. And it cost a 3-game suspension that Johan appealed. But maybe he drops that appeal after going 3 innings on Sunday because he wouldn't be able to pitch till Wednesday anyway. Just take the suspension and we'll see you in Cincinnati on Friday. But it took, the Mets' 25th man on the roster, the last guy to be the soldier and win his Mets stripes. Didn't even hit him, get suspended. Mendoza suspended Sunday's game. And I really thought John Gibbons was going to win Carlos Mendoza's first game. I mean, it's the start of the Mets bingo card. Unfortunately, I tweeted the Mets will win, and I had Brewers fans saying, hey, look, who's wrong? Old takes exposed. There's worse old takes exposed than me saying the Mets are going to win a game. I mean, let's relax on that. I wasn't Houdini on Easter. Happy Easter to everyone watching. But, the positive of the weekend is Francisco Alvarez. Home run, 5 for 10, looks great. He's good, probably due for a monster year. Positive was seeing Beatty, who didn't get the start against the lefty, hit a pinch hit homer. Alonso hits a bash. Alonso a couple hits Sunday. Those are the positive. Everything else, middle relief was fine. Ramirez wasn't very good Sunday. Jorge Lopez gave up a run on Friday. The rest of the bullpen was solid. And the other positive was seeing Edwin Diaz out there. I didn't love him being out there Saturday, in case you needed him Sunday. But it worked out because you didn't need him Sunday. So you're fine with using Diaz, and I think it was exciting for the fans there to see that and hear the trumpets, and that was the most exciting part, really, of that game until the Mets kind of made it close in the bottom of the ninth. But, screw Rhys Hoskins, man. I mean, that's a dirty slide on Friday, and then the Mets' form of retaliation is waiting for them to pound them with 3 hits and 4 RBIs, and they're throwing at him. I thought that, Mendoza could have showed a pulse, and I thought Severino in his first start could have showed a pulse. And I get it. You risk throwing at him in the first inning. Umpires say he's tossed because clearly the pitch behind him, they tossed him. I thought maybe a better chance of a warning if you do it in the first inning. The Mets waited for him to tear them apart, tearing up their heart, in the words of Vince Sink, to do it. And I think that played a part in maybe the immediate ejection. I'm curious to see if they beat him in the first, if it's a warning. But we'll never know. But I thought Severino could have earned his Mets stripes. And I know you get screwed. Like I said, the day's off. It's tough to screw your bullpen and make it a bullpen game Saturday. But I thought the fan base would have liked it. I thought it would have been good to back up Jeff McNeil. And, the Hoskins, the crying and stuff, you didn't really do anything. You accomplished nothing by doing it when you did it. It was fun at all. It was a story, but you accomplish nothing. So that's the frustrating part about it. It's 3 games. Mets are swept 0-3. And, it was a chilly, windy weekend at Citi Field. I didn't go Sunday. I got to go less this year. And I'm glad I didn't go Sunday because what a lifeless performance. But that was the thing. Kind of a lifeless weekend outside the late comeback Saturday. Friday, dead, 1 hit. It's... they got to show up here. They got to show up against the Tigers. The Brewers are not Murderers Row. But, they didn't have a Murderers Row pitching staff. But these guys shut the Mets down. Embarrassing performance to open the season. And we went into the season with, not really expectations. So that's why I think I'm not here ranting over a sweep to open the season. They get swept by Detroit. Yeah, I'm not going to be happy, but I'm not ranting. Because we expected a team that was not going to make the playoffs. If you said the Mets are locked to make the playoffs, you're nuts. with how good the NL is, with how mediocre to below mediocre the starting rotation is, there was no shot. But these guys got to step up now, and they can't wait too long because you don't want to be down and out of the water. Like I said, fans will not show up. After Memorial Day, I don't care if the weather gets better, you're going to have closer to 25,000 than 35,000 fans outside of the Doc Gooden Day and the Darryl Strawberry Day and great giveaways. Not even giving away free tickets will bring people in if this team plays like they did over the weekend. That was rough. JD Martinez will not save the Mets, but man, please come soon. Get there in Cincinnati. We won't be in these games in New York, but in Cincinnati at the latest, the 4-game series against the Braves where, you want to win a few of those games. You don't want to get a 4-game sweep against the Braves and have them pound you early. The vibes were good in spring. Everything was fun, but now the games count. And it's time for the Mets to wake up as the Detroit Tigers come to town. Again, Mania Hauser first start. It's big for them to get into the 6th inning. Show us that you could get into the 6th at least. Hopefully through the 6th. But yeah, Tyrone Taylor ain't cleanup. Can't happen. JD Martinez, when he's here, spring's over. I get why you to go down, get at bats, get ready. But you're a designated hitter. You're not on your feet in the field. I want JD Martinez 7 out of 7 days. I want him off 1 day a month. 2 days a month, tops. They need that bat every single day. Lindor gets off to slow starts here. It's a little bit frustrating. It's been a thing where he doesn't start off well. So I'd like to see him do better. Alonso 2-hit Sunday, so any of the naysayers that said looking him out, drinking on stage with Zach Bryan Saturday, were kind of shut up by that. I didn't think that's a big deal. Let the guy have fun. I mean, people got to realize these are human beings. Let them go out and have fun. He went to a concert. Any player that turns down singing a song with one of their favorite artists on stage, are you crazy? Who would do that? Oh, but the day game the next day. Listen, these guys, when they're on the road, they're out. After these games, they are out at bars. They go out and have fun. That's life. They're human. Let them have their fun. Now, if this is September and the Mets are in a playoff push and that happens, it's a story. But it's not even April. So let's calm down on that front. I will say it was great to be back at the ballpark. It was a weird feeling in the stadium. I think the excitement just isn't there like the last few years with the expectation of the team. You felt that. You felt that aura in the building. Quieter. Opening day, I think it's everyone saying hi. I was saying hi to a million people. It was good to be back. The museum they moved. The team store replaced it. We did kind of laugh. We went into the Mets museum, and it was a very small, right next to the wiffle ball fields. And it was it shouldn't even be called a museum. It should be called like a conference room, if that. It was like a box. It was very small. I mean, it sums up the Mets' history. We only got 2 rings. So it was smaller. I noticed the food prices did go up pretty much across the board. I had the Korean chicken soul bird in the Hudson Club in the Promenade. Very good. Cold, though. I would say it was cold. Soul bird, yeah. It was cold. So, poutine cold. They run out of forks. I don't think they were fully equipped, which was a little odd, but that was very good. I'll try more foods throughout the season and let you guys know what I think of the food. I'll call myself one of the top food sources of Citi Field. I know my food, Citi Field. I know where it is. I got to get an eye of where everything is because they have moved some things. I do want to try the chicken teriyaki by Pat LaFrida's Steak moved to where the pizza was next to the wiffle ball field in that area. And they have a chicken teriyaki thing where the Pat LaFrida's Steaks was in center field area. So I do want to try that and try some different foods throughout the ballpark. The prices have gone up. And a couple things have changed in the stadium. They're very much making it like it is a cash cow. Like the team store, place in the museum is, hey, go buy your jerseys. It's a smart business move. But a lot has changed in the past year at Citi Field. But 21 years in a row, it was cool to be there with my dad. It was special, into a second decade, into the start of a second decade here. They live in South Carolina, so it is a commitment to come up here and make it happen. And, things change in life, health, all this. And the fact we've been able to do 21 straight years and, have it on the calendar and not, have something come up is pretty cool because so much happens in life and there's been so many changes that 21 years is something I hold near and dear to my heart. And, it's the only game he goes to all year. So it was good to have my brother Robert there. He saw some friends there. Cohen's actually their last name were. So no relation to Steve. But great to be back at the ballpark and to see some of those videos. We have a couple of videos from opening day. I'll put them here. You have my brother in there. My dad in there. We'll play a couple of those videos to close this episode of Amazing But with Jake out. Give me a thumbs up below. Comment below. Are you doom and gloom right now? Are you season over already? How are you feeling about the Mets? Let me know in the comments. Tweet me at Jake Brown Radio. Instagram at Jake Brown Radio. And let me know how you're feeling about this team right now. It's a frustrating start. It'll help if they win a series against Detroit and then hit the road, get JD, and then the vibes turn around. But I'm worried that they don't have enough pitching and they're going to need help. There's just not many names out there. I know there's a name that rhymes with Cower that some people want them to get. You can't go down that route. You cannot in New York City go down that route. And there's reasons for that. You know the reasons. You just cannot go down that route. I do think they need an arm, but you can't go down that path. We'll see what they do. David Stearns, if the couple weeks in, starters aren't getting through the sixth inning, or if they lose another guy, you got to make some calls. If not, you got to call up Christian Scott. You got to do something. But not time to push that button yet. Mets 0-3, turning around at home against the Tigers. Enjoy coming up, closing out Amazing with Jake. These videos from opening day at Citi Field. Thanks for watching, and make sure you're subscribed to Jake Brown Radio.
This is live in-game questions with Amazing with Jake. Jake, this is your 21st opening day?
21 straight opening days. Started in 2003. It was around 30 degrees and cold. Here's Bob Brown, who was with me for that. I think it was a chance of snow. It was brick out, but 21 years later, we're going strong. We had the break in 2020, but our cardboard cutouts were here. So if you want to count us in cardboard cutout form, it would be 22 straight opening day.
So, Jake, if you had to estimate in your lifetime, how many total Mets games have you attended live?
It's got to be over 600, maybe 700. The last couple of years, I've been going around 50 a year. 2022, I think I went to 64 games, maybe somewhere around 60 plus. Don't have season tickets, but I find my ways. And it's probably around 600 plus, I'd say.
And your last question, let's say you went to 700 games. What would you say was the Mets' record in those 700 games you attended?
Well, they're great on opening day. So opening day, they've won a lot. Overall, I guess it's around 500. Maybe it's like 370 and 330, something like that.
This is In-Game Questions. Amazing with Jake. Like, comment, subscribe.
Jake Brown Radio on YouTube.
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Yankees.
All right, 21 years in a row, father-son home opener tradition continues. Jake Brown Radio on YouTube. Bob Brown trying out the chicken, dipping in the sauce. Robert Brown trying out the poutine. Right here, the sauce. Type 2 diabetic, but still going strong. What's your review? What's your number? What do you give it?
Great chicken, extra crispy, and the sauce is just the right amount of spice.
What number do you give it?
2 thumbs up.
I grabbed the poutine. Unfortunately, they're out of forks, so this is really difficult to eat. The fries are cold. The cheese curds are like rock hard.
Harsh critic.
The chicken's good. The gravy's good, but because of some of these things, I have to give it like a 6.5, 7. If everything was hot, I'd give it a 9, but...
Take a bite with the chicken, let's see.
Let's try the chicken. Again, I got to do this with my hands.
Like a man.
Dip it in the gravy. No, I'll go up to 7.5.
The cold definitely brings it down.
But hopefully they figure this out after opening day.
All right, there it is. Happy opening day, everyone. Opening day, the tradition continues. Pan over to Bob Brown over here. He's over here eating his pretzels. 21 years in a row. The tradition continues. Rob Brown, my brother, is here with me. Jake Brown Radio. Subscribe to the YouTube. We're trying out the new Soul Chicken, Korean chicken. upstairs, Hudson Club, City Field, Promenade. Had to get the chicken, had to get the poutine. Me and Rob are going to share. Here we go. New food at City Field. I love trying it. And a little soy sauce dippage action. A lot of salt on there. I see a lot of salt action. We were looking for Jacob's Pickles, but I don't know if the stadium has it anymore. All right, here we go. Got a nice crunch to it. The sauce is essential. I think the soy sauce has added such a nice touch to this. Really good. I love chicken. I love fried chicken. Look at that. 9.1. All right. To the poutine. Here we go. Now just dipped in gravy. They're out of fork on opening day, which is just aggressively insane. But we'll eat it with our hands because, I'm a man. One more bite. I love poutine. Poutine is one of my favorite things. Not many places have it. I just made a mess. Both have a nice crunch, nice taste, nice sauce. 9.1 for both. Thanks for watching. Make sure give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to Jake Brown Radio on YouTube. Comment below. What do you want me to try throughout the year? I'll be here all year long. Thanks for watching.